Hey everybody, welcome back to 3 Generations Restoration. Today we are going to be working on this Oliver 77, and I had envisioned on turning the engine over and getting spark. And this is something I messed up on when we bought this tractor, is you should always check to see if an engine turns over when it's non-running before you buy it. It may look nice, it may look like it was rebuilt, it may have been told that it was ran 7 years ago or whatever, but this engine is actually locked up. So we actually pulled the spark plugs out of each cylinder. This one's got 6 on it, and put the little inspection camera down in each hole. And I mean, the cylinders look brand new. Top of the pistons look almost brand new. Everything in this thing looks brand new. We gave the owner a call, and he said he had gone through the engine, rods, mains, rings, and he did new liners and whatever. Did a whole new engine or cylinder head job. I just think that from sitting 7 years, I think this thing's dry stuck. So we took this thing outside and tried dragging it to no avail. We dragged it down the road and tried to get some good traction on it, but we just could not get this thing to come unstuck. So the only thing we can do now is take the cylinder head off, which is unfortunate, but that's the only thing you can do. We're gonna really see what's down in there and go from there. So I think right now I'll start with getting the wires off, getting all the plugs out, and then we're gonna probably get the manifold off. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start now with getting the wires off of the head. I've already taken a photo of this, so I can't mess it up. And then while we're here, everything's loose. I'm just gonna pull these plugs out so we don't damage them when we're removing the cylinder head. And this just helps get a lot of the stuff right out of the way before we even get started. The next step will be to remove probably the exhaust manifold by the looks of it. Yeah, so we're gonna next disconnect the carburetor. What I'll do is I'll just take it off right here, take the fuel line off, and then the manifold should be able to come off. So well, it looks like there's some stuff in some of these cylinder or exhaust ports. I don't know what it is. Like it's oh, there's seeds. There's seeds in here. Looks like a mouse or something got inside of the exhaust manifold or so and made a nest. That's all this is. It's a little rust, but most of it is like seeds. You can kind of see right there. All right, now we'll make sure there's no coolant in the thing. We're gonna go ahead and take probably this little jacket water elbow off, and then we'll get underneath to the valve cover. Yeah. All right, so we quickly got the cylinder head off, and you could totally tell that this was done before. The cylinder head has new seals, looks like new guides, new springs, almost like new valves as well. Head gasket is a lost cause. That's split in half between the two sides. I sprayed oil in this last night, a couple days, and this one went down, this one went down. These two center ones did not go down. This one was good, and this final one here did not go down. So looks like these two might have been stuck, but when we pulled it off, there were seeds, almost like a mouse nest in here. I think rat piss got in here and soaked up everything and got everything stuck. So we're gonna give this thing a few raps with the hammer and see if we can't get it unstuck. That works. Can we try here? Yep. Give it a light tap before I hold it. Oof. Good channel locks. I need to be shorter, I think, don't you? Want big channel locks? Oh, it broke. All right, everybody. It's been probably 3 weeks since we've last worked on this Oliver. And last you saw us trying to get this engine unstuck. Well, we let this thing sit for 2 weeks with acetone and ATF in it, and I'm pleased to show you that she turns over now. So what I'm gonna do, and look at, you can tell this thing's got really nice cross hatching. I put a little oil down in each one, and you can tell that the wiper's still working. So it ended up being this piston here was just a little bit stuck, but it was just dry stuck. So I'm gonna go ahead and wire brush this. We got ourselves a brand new cylinder head gasket. We're gonna put this thing together. Maybe see if she starts today. So I'll go ahead, get this clean, and we'll meet you right back here once we got the surfaces prepped and ready to reinstall. All right, everybody, so we have the engine up at top dead center, and we're gonna go ahead and put our head gasket on. There's no particular up arrow on it, but it really only can go on one way. Just make double sure that there is no...
Yeah, yes, flip back. There. That's how it goes on.
There we go. All right, now we're gonna put a little Permatex on this side. Not a whole lot, but it's enough to guarantee that this kind of a Teflon cloth gasket will seal. So give it a little coat, and then we're gonna be ready to put the head completely on.
Ready? Tell me what. We're going
Go down. Right there. Now the bolts. There we go. All right, so we got the cylinder head on. We got all the bolts up here. One of them will have a hole through it. That's this one right here.
These are all the same. Let's see.
The only two bolts that are different is the one that supplies oil to the rocker arm, and that one goes all the way toward the back.
Some have paint and some don't.
Painted ones go here. Go ahead and spin all these in now. All right. All right, so we have our shop service manual. We seem to have a collection of these, and we actually had the Oliver 77 in stock. And we went to paragraph 431 for super and non-super, 66, 77, 88, 770, and 880. We have a 77. We go all the way down to cylinder head, to the bottom. We have a non-diesel engine, so the torque for the cylinder head is 92 to 100. So we're going to go 95. And then when we get to it, our valves are 10 thousandths and 16 thousandths for the exhaust. So we're going to go ahead, torque the cylinder head down, and we're going to set the valves. So once we get that done, we will meet you right back. I'm going to time lapse this part. You guys have seen me torque down heads before and do valves, so we're going to go ahead and get that done. Alright, I'm going to install the push rods real quick, and I'm also going to make sure that they go down into their lifters. That one's down in its lifter. For you. Got another one here. Let's make sure. Here's our rocker arm. We're going to go ahead and put it on now, nice and slowly. Line them all up. May have to tap it a little bit with the rubber mallet. Here we go. There we go. All right, we just got done setting the valves on this tractor. Intake is 10 thousandths and exhaust is 16 thousandths. We went cylinder by cylinder. You know, there is a way to do it where you can go top dead center 1 and do half of the valves, and then top dead center 6 and do half the valves. But we just opted to verify that everything was going to be correct at top dead center of each cylinder. So now what I just ended up doing was oiling the rocker arm because this has been dry for a while, and it'll take probably a few seconds before this thing starts to get oil up to it. And then I also put some oil down in the push rod bores so they could actually get onto the lifter. And we're getting ready to put the valve cover on right now. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on next, and then once that's on, we'll put the thermostat housing on here, and then the manifold and the carburetor, and then we should be able to put some gas to it and see if it won't start. So we'll go ahead and get the valve cover on next. First I gotta, goes this way. All right, here comes the valve cover back down. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put our old washers. We have two that will get them here with some nuts here. And then we have our breather that's gonna go here in a second. Put another copper washer here. All right, so we got all the valve cover nuts on and snug. Now our little breather goes right here. We'll go ahead and put our final nut and tighten this down. All this does is let some of the blow-by out of the engine, which this engine shouldn't have any. All it was a little bit dry stuck from sitting. And the guy we got it from said he had rebuilt this engine, so, and I believe him. I see a lot of good things in this engine so far. All right, valve cover's on. Thermostat housing next. All right, here is the thermostat housing. I gotta, somehow, this has to go on. There we go. Little puzzle. All right, I'll go ahead and tighten this down, and then it's time to put the manifold back on. Okay, yeah, hold it right there. Now it's there. Oh, you got it right. Head over there. Head over there. Here. No, it's too short. I'll do this one here. Oh, no, why? That down a little bit. Right there. There you go. Head over there. No, over here. Look over there. There. Seems kind of a little bit of a puzzle to put on, but looks like I got it. Alright, now we'll snug all these up. Make sure that the tabs are lined up at the contact points on the manifold. And then the bolt will press down, nice and even. Over here, all the way. All right, manifold is back on the tractor. Now what we're gonna do probably is put engine oil in it. I'll put the plug back on. We drained it out. It had a little bit of PB Blaster and a little acetone and automatic transmission fluid from when we were trying to get this thing unstuck. We will go ahead and put some fresh oil in the tractor. All right, so we're getting ready to get the carburetor on and maybe put gas, and my dad just happened to look down in the tank and he's got a hold of something here. What is it? It is a dead mouse. This thing had a gas cap. I don't know how that thing got in there. What do you think about that?
Garbage.
What do you think?
Cap should have been, must have been off or something, huh?
Yeah. Is it dirty down there? Alright, so we determined that the starter is junk on this tractor. Keeps locking the whole machine up. We're gonna try to full start it. It started there. Keep going. Stop. It started there. It started. Keep going again. It died. Keep going. No, it'll go on gas. Hold on. Keep going. Shut it off. Put some water. Shut it off and get water. There it is running. That's low idle. Out of gas. All right, well, the old tractor started, and I just got done driving it around and really breaking the engine in. I think the carburetor's gonna need a lot more of an adjustment to it. This looked like it was brand new about the time the guy rebuilt the tractor. And then the starter would engage, and then it would disengage, and then it would engage and lock up, and then the engine would be locked up again. We got water in it. Everything worked. Everything was not hot. We got oil pressure. The only thing is it's running a little bit rough. So I'm going to adjust that, maybe the timing. We're going to need to figure out a starter. But PTO works. Oh, the brakes don't work at all. I got to fix that. Had to adjust the clutch a little bit. But all the gears work and everything's seeming like could be good. A couple leaks here and there that we'll figure out. But overall, The Oliver 77 lives again after sitting quite a long time in the shed that we got it from. So I think the next video will be adjustments, fine-tuning, leak solving, and then putting tin work and stuff on, and also the starter. So at least we got the thing running. I'm surprised that how nice this thing is. It was locked up when we got it. So, but yeah, I think we'll call it an episode on this old Oliver. So thank you guys for watching. We'll be doing a little bit more driving of this thing in the next video, so stay tuned, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.